Hi, this is Ben with China Yo-Yo Man. Today I'm going to be reviewing the A House About Yoyo scent. Okay, so first things first, I want to talk to you about what this yo-yo is made out of. It is a bimetal, but it's not your typical 6061 stainless steel bimetal. It has 7075 aluminum, and then it has two different sets of rings, one on the inside, one on the rim, that are titanium. At first glance of this yo-yo, looking at the specs, you might think that it will play really heavy, but it doesn't. The weight of this is about 67.5 grams, I believe, maybe 66.5, but heavier than 66 grams, but it doesn't play that way. The way that the weight distribution works gives this thing a slight float to it, making it feel lighter than what you would expect. This is a B grade, so I got it for a really good price. I'm hoping to include some links in the description where you might be able to get one of these through a Taobao agent. There are only a few of these left in stock for the B grades, I believe like 3 or 4. So if you're interested, try out the link quickly and you might be able to get one of these for a cheaper price. You can also get these off of AHAY's official website. That will also be linked in the description. But the A grades are quite expensive. You're looking at about $160 for this yo-yo, which might be worth it for some people because of how unique this yo-yo is and how well it plays. That's enough of me talking about it here. I'm going to play with it and show you some things that make this yo-yo so special. Good job, AHAY. Before I go, I want to see if you can look at the laser engravings. So there's an engraving on each rim, one with the AHAY logo, and the other saying Cent 3. I believe this is the third iteration of this yo-yo, also saying that it's a B grade. Okay, so this is the AHAY Cent. The very first thing I noticed when playing this yo-yo was how light it felt. Again, this yo-yo advertised is 66 or 67 grams, and so you would expect it to play heavy. And granted, before the yo-yo I was using the most right before this was the Recognition by Unparalleled, so that one's a little bit heavier too. So it felt lighter than it has later. It still has a slightly, I wouldn't say heavy, but deliberate feeling to it, with a slight amount of float. The biggest thing that I have come to love of this yo-yo as I've played it with it more is its relentless stability and forgiveness. So with a lot of yo-yos, like if you hit a wrong string or something or don't land it perfectly, the yo-yo will start to tilt a little bit. But this yo-yo doesn't do that. It takes a lot to really get this thing off plane, and it just stays right where you put it. It doesn't move at all. The most stable thing I've ever tried or even imagined. This is more stable than anything that I could have even thought before I tried it. Another really awesome thing about this yo-yo is the stuff it comes with. It comes with 10 strings by AHAY and a yo-yo bearing by AHAY. And a lot of Chinese yo-yo companies will send strings and bearings with their stuff, but AHAY stuff is premium. Their bearings and their strings are really, really nice. So you get this yo-yo, you're going to get yourself some nice string and a really nice, smooth bearing to go into something else. It was like it was a concave 10-ball bearing that it came with, and it wasn't just a cheap 10 ball bearing. It was nice. And I put it into one of my other yo-yos, and it made my day with how smooth it was. This yo-yo, in terms of smoothness, this is a B grade. So it does have a tiny bit of vibe, but like over time it feels like it has actually gotten smoother. So that might have just been a little bit of vibe that was in the bearing at first. If you look at it now, it is incredibly smooth. Let's do that string test like I was talking about in an earlier video. Look at the string, and if the string can stop vibrating at all, then it's truly smooth. And it looks like I can see maybe a tiny bit of vibration in the string. So I would say that this is like somewhere between 8.5 and 9 on the smoothness scale. And an A grade would probably be even smoother. If you're going to buy one of the $160 A grades, you probably should expect something that is completely glass smooth. Let me think. In terms of spin times, this thing spins forever. You can just keep on going with it. This is the yo-yo I usually go for learning new tricks, because it just spins forever and it's stable as can be. So I don't have to worry about it moving off plane or dying. One thing that always interested me when watching YouTube tutorials was how long the yo-yos would spin. And like I would be trying what they were doing at their speed, and they would just keep it going with the yo-yo, and I would notice how messed up things would get, and I would have to restart the yo-yo so many more times than the person in the tutorial video. But with this yo-yo, it seems to last just as long as them, and that's with me sloppily trying to do all of the things that are being taught. One thing to note about this yo-yo is, again, this could be because of the B grade, but on thumb grinds, you probably won't be able to see it. I'm not going to put it up there, but on the inside of the rim, when I was doing a thumb grind one day, I took my thumb out and it was blue across the edge. And if you look inside, you can see a line around the blue area where my thumbnail had scraped off some of the paint. So for talon grinds, thumb grinds, you may want to be careful with this yo-yo. For finger grinds, it's decent. It's not going to be your best grinder, but it can get the job done. It can do what you want it to. In terms of durability, this thing is quite nice. I had a hit on the ground, and as you can see, I only have tile. I don't have any carpet in my entire apartment, so I always play over tile. And so sometimes the yo-yo hits the ground. And this one hit the ground once, pretty hard, didn't affect the way the yo-yo played at all. And there's barely a mark on it, probably due to the titanium rings taking over a lot of the surface area that can hit on things. So it's nice and durable, spins forever, incredibly stable, also has that fun slight float to it, plays lighter than it looks. Really, this thing is awesome. One of my favorite things that I've gotten from China, and definitely one of my favorite yo-yos overall. So, if you get a chance, pick one of these up. They're super awesome. You won't regret it. That's all I have. Thanks.